Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Wednesday, May 20th, 2026. Here we are, 6 years, 2 months, and a bunch of days since we began this journey together. Learning Torah every single weekday morning, finding friends from across the world to say good morning to. Lydia and Kate, Susie, good to see you. Hugs back. That's lovely. Let's see who else is here so we can share both on Instagram and in Facebook world on these platforms the good mornings that we've been blessed to share for 1,552 broadcasts. It is such a blessing to be able to do this day after day. So, Linda, good morning. Good to see you. Sending love to you in Florida. And Kate, Boker Tov. All right. Cynthia and Cecile, Jack, Natalia, Arlene, Boker Tov. Arlene, today is your brother Jerry's birthday. Jerry is often with us, and so please God he should show up so we can say it to him in person. But Boker Tov, Jerry, it's on the recording, and if we're lucky enough to see you in real time, we'll say it again. Haley and Minna, Robin and Judy, Amy, Boker Tov. Hi Sandy, Boker Tov to you. All right. Good to see all of you. Hope that you and yours are safe and well. Hold on a second. Our Instagram friends are rejoining us. Here we are. Kate, so glad that your son's surgery went well yesterday. Should be complete healing for him. Let's talk a little Torah, friends. Shavuot begins tomorrow night, and it is a celebration of Torah. Now, again, if we remember the history of Shavuot, the holiday, it didn't begin as a celebration of Torah. Shavuot is one of the three pilgrimage festivals where we would travel to the center of our people's existence, to Jerusalem. Hold on one second. Friends on Instagram, no sound? Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody called and that disrupted our broadcast. I'm going to end this broadcast. I'm so sorry. But on Facebook, you can join us. Okay. Where were we? Oh, yeah, pilgrimage festivals. The pilgrimage festivals are Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot, the Shalosh Regalim, where we would travel to the temple, bringing offerings, and also that was a functional lost and found for the people. It's where the core of our decision making was. There are many things that defined that spot for our people. Over time, each holiday began to contain an essence in addition to the agricultural cycle that it marked, because Shavuot was originally a harvest of the barley season. Now, Shavuot began to include the idea that Torah was given on that day. Now, it's funny that the Torah doesn't know that the Torah was given on Shavuot. But for us, we celebrate the holiday by getting together and learning. We learn often all night at a Tikkun Leil Shavuot, a mystical tradition that has become more mainstream with every generation. And what it represents is a chance to do Tikkun, to heal this fractured world by bringing more Torah to it, by allowing more Torah in, by returning to the mountain, as it were. And so it leads to a very interesting question. What should you learn? What should a person learn for Tikkun Leil Shavuot? If you look at the variety of programs that are out there in the Jewish world, there are people who present on their research as Jewish scholars. There are people who present new ideas. There are people who teach from the Torah portion. There are people who create a deep dive into a specific subject. It's fun. It's really fun. It's a beautiful tradition. In fact, many communities have multiple shuls or different kinds of communities coming together because, after all, if Shavuot is a time for our community to come together, it should not be based on one variety of Jewish tradition. It should be all of us coming together. But because all of this stuff is included in a tikkun, all of this stuff is Jewish learning, we often say we're learning Torah, and it describes all of the stuff, including what we speak about every broadcast. We sing the bracha to learn Torah, and we discuss a variety of subjects. Is it all Torah? So I wanted to share a beautiful tradition, because there are some who believe in a maximalist revelation, which means everything was revealed at Sinai. Even this conversation, every time Torah is being discussed, it was already revealed, and this is just the pouring out of something that was revealed at Sinai. And that imbues largely the sacred canon, the Talmud and Mishnah, which are rabbinic texts, and Midrash, which is a rabbinic collection with divine power, with an authority that feels untouchable. But actually, that's not quite how it goes. If we see it as starting at Sinai and therefore what we create over time, we didn't create. We're just the vessel for it. You might see yourself believing in a theory called Yeridat Hadorot, the descent of the generations. Every generation since Sinai is one step removed from its authority, one step removed from the direct encounter with the divine, and therefore we have less authority to challenge and change anything that has been inherited. It's an interesting idea. Some people do subscribe to it, but it is also possible for us to say that with every succeeding generation, we learn more and more from our ancestors. We stand on the shoulders of our ancestors who stood on the shoulders of their ancestors. And so while we are distant from Sinai, we are able to reach higher. And the creativity that comes with all of this accumulated wisdom is something that we owe to the past, but the creativity itself is original in the moment. It's a way of understanding ourselves as moving the conversation forward, as being worthy ancestors for those to come. Because of the inheritors, we truly are. And it leads me to teach this one beautiful idea. What was revealed at Sinai? There are some who believe only the 5 books. Some believe only the Hebrew Bible, Torah, prophets, and writings. Some people will say maximalist, everything that is Torah, including Mishnah and Talmud and commentaries. A mystic named Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Kotsk had a beautiful teaching on this. He said what was revealed at Sinai was the first letter of the first word of the first command. So this is something very deep. The first command is, I am the Lord your God. The first word in Hebrew of that command is Anochi, I. The first letter of that first word is Aleph. Aleph. What's the sound of an Aleph, friends? If you've ever studied Hebrew language, you know that the Aleph doesn't have a sound of its own. When it has a vowel underneath it, it begins to sound like something, but it's actually just sounding like the vowel. What is the Aleph? The difference between silence, which would not be revelation, and an Aleph, which is revelation, is this. It is the opening of possibility. Not that God has a mouth, but that God opens up through encounter the possibility of everything pouring through. It's important for us to think about this, not because we will actually understand it. We don't. We couldn't. It's impossible to understand. But the very fact of our creativity, our existence, that we can channel good stuff and move it forward, that we can inherit everything we have and face everything we do and be full of life and hope and determination. That is based on having had an encounter with the divine that filled up the world with a possibility of something good. I've been quoting Tal Becker a lot recently, vice president of the Shalom Hartman Institute, who says, because everything is uncertain, anything is possible. That's a nice way of saying it too. On Shavuot, we step back to the mountain and we encounter the infinite. How lucky we are to stand at the foot of that mountain and to experience the possibility of everything. So I wish us joy, celebration, good learning. Find a community nearby. There are many online too. And learn. Open your heart to the wisdom that we have been accumulating and creating over the course of millennia. What a gift it is to have this tradition and to be able to do tikkun, to heal. We can heal so much because of our creativity and because of the legacy we've inherited. How lucky we are. How blessed we are. Send your hearts to the east, friends. Let's sing. Kol hod balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homiya ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion tzofia od lo avda tikvateinu התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow morning, my friends.